5th grade. Here's another demo for our op art unit. This time it's op art weaving. I miss seeing you guys every day and can't wait to see your projects on Seesaw. To make an op art weaving, you're going to need 2 pieces of paper. I have a variety of colored paper in my house. I'm using 9 by 12, which is this large sheet of colored paper. It's half of it. So if I have a large sheet, I can fold it and then cut on that line. And that gives me this 9 by 12 paper. But of course you can do it with anything that you have at your house. So that could be regular printer copy paper, the white paper. You want 2 different kinds of paper, so maybe a piece of notebook paper and a white piece of paper, or you can paint a piece of paper a different color. You could color it with crayon before you start. But if possible, we want 2 different colored pieces of paper. If you only have white copy paper, maybe you have a brown bag from grocery shopping and you could cut a rectangle out of that. Or you can even look to recycle something that came in the mail, maybe on a colored sheet of paper, or something you took home from school that's on a colored sheet of paper, and you could recycle that. So to make it easy for you guys to see what I'm doing, I'm gonna work in black and white and move the rest of this paper to the side. So when we weave, anytime we do any kind of weaving, sometimes we weave in fabric. Today we're weaving in paper. You're gonna have 2 things. You're gonna have a loom, and then you're gonna have your strips that you're gonna weave into your loom. So I'm gonna use the white piece of paper as my loom, and then the black piece of paper is gonna be cut into the strips that go into my loom. So the white piece of paper is my loom. The first thing I wanna do is I wanna draw a line that is parallel to the short side of my paper. This is gonna be a horizontal line. I'm gonna use a ruler because I have it. You could also, again, look through the junk mail that comes and use that as a straight edge. If you have nothing to use as a straight edge, you could always just fold over and use that fold line as your straight edge. So once I have that line there, I like to add my name as a reminder not to cut above that line, because you're not gonna cut off your name. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna start at that line and you're gonna make a wavy line. It could be any kind of wavy line that you want. Now I'm gonna make another wavy line. Again, it could be similar, it could be different, any kind of wavy line. And another, this one's gonna have less of a wave. So I drew 4 wavy lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm gonna cut on those lines. And stop when I get to the top line. If you miss the pencil, it's not a big deal, because we're gonna turn it all over when we're done. Nobody's gonna see the pencil. Cut, and now I'm gonna flip it over. Pencil lines are on the back. This is my loom. That means this paper is gonna get used to make the strips to go into the loom. So if I cut my loom, cut long lines, when I cut my strips, I'm gonna turn my paper so that I'm cutting the short way, because that's how I'm gonna weave into it. I cut long for my loom and short for my strips. I cut wavy lines to make my loom. I'm gonna cut wavy lines to make my strip. So this is a straight edge. I just wanna get rid of that straight edge. So close to that straight edge, I'm just gonna cut a wavy line out. So now I have this wavy edge and I can cut my first strip. I want it to be similar in thickness to these strips. So I'm gonna look and think about how thick I want this strip to be. So I cut a wavy line from the black paper. There's what it looked like. Weaving is a pattern, just like we've been using in all of our op art designs. I'm making another checkerboard design. So I'm going to make a pattern. I'm going to pick up this first strip and take the black paper and go under it. I picked up the white and I went under it with the black. Now I'm going to let my paper go over this one. Then I pick up the next one. So I'm making a pattern. My pattern is under, over, under, now over, pick up the last one, under. I'm going to number the strips to make it easier to explain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you need to number your strips, you can, but you don't have to. I'm going to go pick up 1 and go over 2. Pick up 3 to go under, go over 4, pick up 5, go under, and slide it to the top. If that sticks out, I'm just going to tuck it in. I'm going to push the whole strip so I don't see it. Depending the paper, if you use two different size papers, you might see it. You could always trim them at the end. So no big deal if your papers are different sizes. Now I'm going to take this piece of paper and cut another wavy strip. Now before I weave this in, I want to make sure it's not upside down. I want to make sure that when I put it next to the strip on my paper, I don't get any gaps. This strip is upside down. I need to flip it so that before I even start weaving it in, I check it and make sure that it's going to match what I already did, because that's what makes it look like op art. It creates that optical illusion. This matches. There's no white gaps. So before I start weaving it, I'm going to check it. That's correct. Once I'm done checking that my strip is going the right way, then I'm going to do the opposite. I started by going under number 1. This time I'm going to go over number 1. Under number 2, over number 3. Under number 4, over number 5, and carefully push it to the top. Cut my next strip. Check it to make sure it's going the right way. This would be the wrong way. This is the right way, because when I hold it at the top, there's no white showing. Okay, repeat your pattern. This time I have to go under number 1, over number 2, under number 3, over number 4, under number 5. Push up to the top. This is under, this time I'm over number 1, under number 2, over number 3, under number 4. I'm starting to get that optical illusion and that checkerboard pattern. White, black, white, black. White, black, white, black. I'm going to keep going and speed up the video so you can see what to do when you filled your paper. Okay, I filled up my paper. If you've added numbers, you can erase them. And the last step is to glue all your ends down. So I'm going to use a glue stick, lift up these ends, put a little glue, hold it down. You can use any kind of glue you have. You could even use tape. You could also turn it upside down. It makes a very cool pattern that way too, if you don't have all these pencil lines like me. And you could glue down these ones. Again, if you need to use tape, you could just tape it down as well. So lift up any loose ends so that it doesn't fall apart on the front and the back. Head over to Seesaw and add your Op Art weaving to our Op Art folder. I can't wait to see your work.